Have you ever felt that weird modern kind of exhaustion? You know the one. You're not tired from digging ditches all day, but from this constant nagging pressure to perform, to optimize, to just be more. Well, what if the very freedom we're all chasing, this idea that you can achieve anything, what if that's actually a new kind of prison we've built for ourselves? Okay, let's break this down with a really powerful idea from the philosopher Byung-Chul Han. He says our whole society has made this massive shift. We used to live in what he calls a disciplinary society. That's on the left. It was all about external rules, things you couldn't do. Think of a world full of you shall not. Now, though, now we're in an achievement society, which is all about you can. This isn't just a small change, it's a total rewrite of how everything works. So, what does this shift from you shall not to you can actually mean for us? Well, this is where we get to the heart of modern burnout. See, in this new age of you can, the commands don't come from a boss or a government anymore. Nope, they come from inside us. The new rules are things like be visible, be productive, be authentic. Suddenly, our own inner life becomes this project to be managed and optimized. Self-realization becomes the new salvation, and we measure our worth in likes, followers, and productivity scores. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? The old physical bars of the prison or the factory floor are gone. But what happened? We just internalized the cell. We've become our own prisoner and our own prison guard, pushing ourselves endlessly to do more, be more. So, this is a big idea, right? But how does it actually get into our heads? How does this societal pressure literally rewire our brains and turn us into our own taskmasters? Let's dive into the neuroscience of it all. This is the key question, really. How does a philosophical concept become a biological habit? It turns out our brains are kind of perfectly and unfortunately designed to trap us in this exact cycle. And it works like this, through a super simple model from neuroscientist Dr. Judge and Brewer. Our brain learns through this basic three-step habit loop. First, you get a trigger, maybe a ping from your phone or just a feeling of stress. Second, that trigger leads to a behavior, like mindlessly scrolling through your social media feed. And third, you get a little reward, a tiny hit of distraction or a moment of relief. It's that simple loop, trigger, behavior, reward, that becomes the engine of our own self-exploitation. And here's the kicker. This isn't a personal failure. This isn't you being weak. This is our ancient survival hardware, a system that evolved to help us find berries and run from tigers getting hijacked. Today, the triggers aren't tigers, they're push notifications and that constant low-grade anxiety that we're falling behind. Wow, this quote just captures it all. Our modern world gives us this constant stream of digital rewards. The likes, the dings, the infinite scroll. It's like a modern-day soma. You know, that pacifying drug from the book Brave New World? It gives us these endless, tiny, unsatisfying rewards that just fuel our craving for more, keeping us stuck in that loop. Okay, so if our brain's own reward system is the very thing locking us in this prison, could it also be the key to our escape? You know, when we have a habit we don't like, our first instinct is almost always the one on the left. Just fight it. Use willpower, resist, push it down. But we all know how that usually ends, right? It often just makes the craving stronger. The really effective approach, the new way, is totally counterintuitive. Instead of fighting the craving, you just watch it. You get curious about it. This is the secret. The real hack isn't to force a change in your behavior. It's to update the information about the reward. So next time you get that urge to anxiously check your email for the 10th time, instead of fighting it or just giving in, try paying really close attention. How does it actually feel to do it? What you'll probably find is, the reward isn't that great. And when your brain sees that, when it realizes the reward is kind of bogus, it naturally starts to devalue the behavior. The loop begins to break, all on its own. And this isn't just about breaking a few bad habits. This is about completely changing our relationship with desire itself. Buddhist psychology has this amazing vocabulary for this. On one side, you have tanha. That's that itchy, compulsive, feverish craving, that anxious need to scroll, to worry, to consume, to fill some kind of void. But on the other side, there's chanda. And chanda is totally different. It's a wholesome, uplifting desire. It's the genuine motivation you feel for connection, for learning something deeply, for true well-being. And you can literally see the difference in the quality of the reward here. Tanha, that compulsive craving, gives you that little short bar, a fleeting dopamine hit that's gone in a second and just leaves you wanting more. But chanda, that wholesome desire, gives you the tall bar. an expansive feeling of joy or curiosity that's way more satisfying and sustainable. It doesn't lead to burnout, it leads to fulfillment. So the real takeaway here isn't to become some emotionless robot who wants nothing. Not at all. The goal is to get smarter about what we want. It's about taking that powerful, natural drive we all have and redirecting it away from the junk food that exploits us and toward the things that actually, truly nourish us. And this brings us right back to where we started. In a world that's constantly demanding that we perform for an audience, maybe the most radical thing we can do is just stop. To step off the stage, to end the performance, and to realize that true freedom isn't found in achieving one more thing, but in the quiet courage to just be.